hot rod or hot mess? Let's dive into a car so controversial, it's like the automotive equivalent of Marmite, the Plymouth Prowler. Ah yes, the Prowler. A car that screams retro louder than a Village Feats tribute band does Abba. Chrysler basically decided to dig into the hot rod culture of the 1950s, mix it with some 1990s absurdity, and voila, out came the Prowler. First things first, let's talk about the looks, because honestly, what the Prowler lacks in substance, it attempts to make up for in flamboyance. It's got wheel arches so prominent you could house a small family underneath them, and exposed front wheels that look like they were borrowed from a garden tractor. This thing doesn't just drive down the road, it swaggers. It's like a peacock, flaring its feathers, convinced it's the belle of the ball. Yet, underneath this bombastic facade, you'll find an engine that would make a hairdryer feel powerful. It's got a 3.5-liter V6, producing a wheezy, underwhelming 253 horsepower. For a car that looks like it should be tearing down the quarter mile in a blaze of glory, the Prowler's engine feels more suited to a minivan. 0 to 60, it manages it in a somewhat leisurely 5.9 seconds, not exactly fast enough to incite any heart palpitations. And then there's the transmission. An automatic in a hot rod. That's like going to a Rolling Stones concert and finding they've swapped out Mick Jagger for a karaoke machine. You can almost hear the collective groan of car enthusiasts everywhere. Inside, it's a mishmash of retro dials and leather seats that feel as though they were designed by someone who used to work on a steampunk sci-fi film. The steering wheel is more squared off than a child's drawing of a car, and the switchgear looks like it was borrowed from a refuse truck. Driving the Prowler is an experience, but not necessarily a good one. With its harsh suspension, it feels like you're sitting on a park bench with wheels. Every bump, every pothole is transmitted straight to your spine. Comfort? Forget it. The Prowler doesn't do comfort. It's too busy trying to be cool. But perhaps we're being a tad unfair. The Prowler was a statement car, a piece of automotive theater concocted in an era where car manufacturers were terrified of being boring. It was Chrysler saying, "Look at us, we're brave, we're different." And you have to admire that, even if the end product is more sizzle than steak. The Prowler will never be remembered as a great car. It won't be whispered about in reverent tones by petrol heads, but it will be remembered, if only for its audacity. It's a car that squeezed boldness into every lug nut and gearbox spring, even if it didn't quite know what to do with it. In a world full of mundane, cookie-cutter cars, the Plymouth Prowler was a riotous splash of color. It was wild, ridiculous, and completely over the top. And for that, for being so unapologetically outlandish, it has earned its place in automotive history. If you enjoyed this dive into the world of outrageous autos, hit that like button and subscribe to Auto Icons. Smash that bell icon so you don't miss out on any more wild rides through car history. Stay bold, stay revved up.